Welcome to Creator News for the week ending on May 11th, 2025. I'm Peggy Kay. First, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you for joining me. And this week, there are updates for YouTube, AdSense, Spotify, Substack, a whole bunch. And I think there's kind of a theme I'm picking up this year where platforms are trying to figure out when someone is an authentic human. So we'll see where that's going. I wanted to start with a couple of updates from YouTube. The first is that changes to mid-roll ads that were announced a few months ago go into effect on May 12th. So if you are a YouTube partner, you should be aware that YouTube is going to start making sure that the mid-roll ads are only playing at natural breakpoints in the video. And this should be an improvement for viewers, and viewers should stick around longer because the mid-rolls aren't affecting the viewing experience. So it's supposed to be good for everyone. If this affects you as a YouTube partner, now is the time to double check your mid-roll settings. And if you have manually inserted mid-roll ads, make sure that they are not considered interruptive. You may want to make sure that automatic mid-roll ads are enabled because YouTube will find non-interruptive spots. Some people have complained that when they do that, YouTube isn't finding any good slots, but YouTube says they've been working on the algorithms that find those ad slots. There should be improvements. So that's something to do today if this affects you, because this goes into effect tomorrow. The other YouTube update that I wanted to mention is that if you use if you use the video editor in YouTube Studio, they're removing the option to revert back to the original video. So that's an option you see, revert to original, that's going away. Before you start editing, make sure you have a backup copy of your video. If there's any chance your edit may not be what you want. So you can either download it from YouTube, you can use Google Takeout, although that's really all or nothing. You can take out an archive of all your videos, not just one video, or, before you upload your video, make sure you have a backup copy. And then the last YouTube-related update I want to mention is that Google Ads announced new tools for brands to connect with YouTube creators. There's the Creator Partnership Hub that has a way for advertisers to find videos, find creators, and you can get stats on the videos that you find. There's the Insights Finder that lets you search YouTube's vast library to find creators. It's AI-powered search, of course, and then you can see demographics and information about the creator's fandom. And there's also partnership ads powered by YouTube Brand Connect for creators. So these are tools for advertisers. And for creators, if you are monetizing your YouTube channel, check the Earn tab in YouTube Studio to see if you're eligible for Brand Connect. That's available. You have to be at least 18, monetizing, and it's in eligible countries: Brazil, India, Indonesia, US, and UK. So those are the YouTube updates for this week. I want to say hello to the folks in chat. I see Craig and Andrew there. If you are in chat, please say hello. If you are here and not in the chat, please say hello. Andrew says, treat videos like photos, never edit the original. Yeah, I think that's good advice. I mean, I have learned the hard way to have backups of everything, but it can be hard. So, for example, a lot of times when people are live streaming, they don't have a backup copy of that video. And then if you edit the live stream and you're not happy with the way it was edited, you're out of luck. So you can download that, or I'm using Restream, and part of the plan I'm on, it also records a video that you can download for 2 weeks. So I usually do that as well. Again, have a backup copy. It's usually something you learn through hard experience, though. So on the advertising front, this past week was a conference called IAB New Fronts. And IAB is the Interactive Advertising Bureau. This is basically a way for platforms to meet up with advertisers, advertising agencies, brands, and they tout their new advertising related things. So Meta also announced a bunch of updates. They announced a partnership ads hub for brands to find high quality creators. That started out on Instagram. Now it's available on Facebook as well. And you can see in the chart here, there's like actually detailed information about the creators. There's also Instagram's creator marketplace. There's AI-powered keyword search, and there's a lot of details you can see about various creators and the previous deals they've done and so forth. So all of this feels kind of weirdly transactional to me. I understand it's business, and hopefully new creators get discovered this way, but it feels like if you're not meeting those exact metrics, maybe you're out of luck. So I want to move on to AdSense. AdSense announced improvements to Auto Optimize. If you are monetizing your own blog or website, there's been an option to go into the experiments section of your AdSense account, turn on Auto Optimize, and it runs tests of different ad formats. So you can choose to have 50% of your traffic seeing a different ad format, and you can see which has the best earnings. This is now being moved from experiments to the ads page in your AdSense account. And there you can actually turn on or off the experiments for each individual website you have. And you can go in and you can block certain experiments if there's a certain ad type you don't want to have on your site. So for example, if you don't like vignette ads, those are kind of intrusive, you can say, no, don't include that in the tests. So even if that makes you more money from your blog, it won't test that. And then you can also choose whether Google implements those changes if it's a winner. So you run a test, and if the test shows, oh, if you use these other ad types or more ads or whatever, you earn more money. You can have it so Google just switches to that format automatically. You do need to be using auto ads. If you're just inserting all your ads manually, this isn't an option. The important thing to know is that now when you add a new website to your AdSense, Auto Optimize will be turned on automatically. The setting will be to automatically apply the experiment winner. So if you have a new site and you just turn on the ads, Google will be running these experiments and then automatically make changes based on whatever earns you the most. You can turn that off, but it's on by default. So I'm going to switch gears here. On Spotify. So Spotify is getting really big into podcasts, and they've implemented a new metric called plays. This is very much, I think, like YouTube's shorts views on other platforms, where this is not showing you how many people like watch the whole thing. This is just, people started playing, and these plays are going to show publicly. They'll be rounded off to the nearest thousand. Spotify says the reason why they're doing this is that this is a clear way to measure which podcast episodes capture the most attention on Spotify. So compare different episodes. If you are a creator on Spotify, you will see more detailed information in your analytics on your dashboard. And you'll also see consumption hours. That's like watch hours on YouTube. These plays, they actually combine both audio plays and video plays because Spotify offers both. So I think we're seeing different platforms, they want to have their metrics comparable to other platforms. And I think this is the direction it's going in. And of course, they want the biggest numbers. Monetization eligibility will not be based on plays. Instead, it will be based on streams with at least 60 seconds of engagement. That's the industry standard. So again, this is similar to YouTube Shorts having views. It's just the number every time it started playing. But for monetization, you need actual engagement, which makes sense. I want to say hello to Rick from Jersey. Good to see you here. Love it that you joined. So the other quick update I have related to video is that Substack, which is not just a newsletter platform now, it has all these other features. They have live streaming, and this week they said, oh, now you can live stream audio only, which best I can tell, it means you can turn your camera off. I'm not sure why this wasn't available when they launched live streaming to start. It's kind of standard on every live streaming platform I've seen. But anyway, if you live stream on Substack, you can have it just audio only. So Andrew says, I would love to see a metric that only included 100% watch stuff. That's never going to happen. Of course, you can see the average watch duration for YouTube in your YouTube studio, but almost never, no one watches 100%, almost no one. I mean, you may watch 100%, but a high percentage of people click away. So that doesn't really capture what people are watching. If they're watching 60%, that's still most of it. And of course, it's going to be different for a short. Shorts, people do watch 100% because they're like 30 seconds long. You can't really compare that to other things on shorts. Sometimes you see that people are watching multiple times. So you have actually more than 100%. And that's going to skew averages as well. It's tough, these metrics, knowing what metrics are relevant and accurately show what you want to show. What is it you want to show? Why are you showing the metrics in the first place? I think those are things that platforms have to think about. All right, so I'm going to move on to Edits. Edits is the new video editing app from Instagram. It's free to use. You don't have to upload the videos to Instagram. They don't have a watermark. This is for everyone, iOS and Android versions, and they have been releasing new features every week. So this week they announced that the app will have safe zones. That shows you where you shouldn't put elements like text because it could get cut off. There are new transitions. There are new text animations, and there's new options for automatic captions. And then there's a whole bunch of different filters, and you can select the frame rate for your output video. So you can increase the frame rate and it's going to look smoother. Again, if you make videos on your phone or tablet, I've got this working on my tablet, you may want to check out the Edits app. Unlike CapCut, right now it's completely free to use. So check it out. And then quickly, Threads is rolling out account status for accounts. This is where you can see if you've had a post that's removed or a post that is not being recommended, and then you can appeal if you think they got it wrong. So this is just added transparency, which I think is a good thing. There's a lot of complaints over in the Meta universe that posts are often removed because their automated systems are detecting something that's supposedly violating policy when it really isn't. And then other posts that are violating policy don't get removed. I'm not sure they know what they're doing over there. So I want to say hello, first of all, to Inspire to Learn and Braylon. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to know what you think about this week's updates. I want to talk just a minute about being human. Over on Reddit, Spez, which is the handle for Reddit CEO Steve Huffman, he posted about what Reddit is currently thinking about. And there's a recent incident there where researchers created these bot accounts and they went to the subreddit, Change My Mind, and they tried to change people's minds. And this was really bad because these bot accounts pretended to be people. So they said that they had professional qualifications or they had certain life experiences, and it was all a lie. It was really kind of gross to do this in the name of research. So this is on the top of people's minds. So what Spez said is that Reddit works because it's human, and also acknowledge that anonymity or pseudonymity is important to the platform. But he said, to keep Reddit human and to meet evolving regulatory requirements, we're going to need a little more information. Specifically, we will need to know whether you are a human, and in some locations, if you're an adult, Reddit says they don't want your personal information. They will use third-party services where you can verify yourself, and then they will have the information whether you passed verification or not. This is the new standard lots of platforms are using. We saw the verification with LinkedIn, and you can link that to Adobe. You actually put your credentials with your images, and there's also kind of creepier versions. Sam Altman, head of OpenAI, he has this project where they have orbs. I mean, it's an orb and it like scans your eyes and then keeps that information that shows you're human, which seems like a really intrusive, creepy way to do it. But I think this is where we're going. There's so much automated content. A lot of it is spam and scams, and people trying to get money one way or another. So platforms need a way for human verification. Reddit said bots are still going to be allowed. They just have to be identified, which seems reasonable. And then kind of on the flip side of that, what about your chats with AI? How much personal information do you give? Gravatar, which is a platform owned by Automatic, that's Matt Mullenweg's company. He owns WordPress.com and Tumblr. Anyway, Gravatar is a way you can have a link in bio with all your information, and they just added a tool to create a profile identity for chatbots specifically. So you go into your Gravatar account and you add all this extra information, not just your personal details, but also things like your preferred tone when you're chatting. And then it has a way to get the format and instructions for providing this information to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity. They all let you enter your profile information, have information that it remembers about you, and then you get a personalized chat. Though there's something that just feels kind of weird feeding all this personal information into these AI systems where they may use it for who knows what. But maybe that's the future. We're all going to have biometrics and go through all these verification processes just to show that we're actual people. I know all of you here in the chat are real people, and I appreciate that. At least I assume you're real people. Andrew, I've met in person. Yes, so those were the updates this week. And just quickly, like usual, what was happening 10 years ago this week? So 10 years ago this week was the launch of Discord. It was designed as a chat platform for gamers. And you can see even the icon they use, it's a very cute, stylized game controller. Why did they pick the name Discord? According to the founders, they picked the name because at the end of the day, it sounds cool and it has to do with talking. They could also get the website and trademark and all those details. So if you haven't used Discord, you go there and you join a server. The server can have different channels, chat rooms, and they can be private, they can be public. There's also voice and video chats, and it's very popular. By 1 year, they had 11 million registered users, which is doing pretty well. And so in 2017, they launched Nitro. Nitro is a subscription service. You get perks like animated avatar and custom emojis, more uploads, that sort of thing. And supposedly the money from Nitro is what's actually supporting the platform. So Nitro seems to be a good deal. It's interesting. It's not clear to me why it might be doing better as a subscription platform than others like X or even YouTube. Is it better? I feel like a higher percentage of Discord users subscribe to it. I don't know why. And then in 2020, they had 100 million monthly active users. So 5 years from 0 to 100 million. And of course, in 2020, with COVID, people were spending more time chatting online. And they wanted to expand Discord beyond just gaming. So they added a new landing page with the tagline, "Your place to talk." They made onboarding a little bit easier. And they said, this is the place where you go and hang out. Hanging out is easy. So today, Discord is the 30th most visited site on the web. It has 200 million active users, and it's still mostly gamers. According to Discord's own chat details, 93% of users play games, although most everybody plays some kind of games, right? So even though it's open to everyone, it seems like it's really gaming and sort of tech and nerdy groups. I am in a bunch of Discord servers, not gaming related, but it has, you know, tech related or related to YouTube channels. So one thing that you can do on Discord is link your social media. You can link your gaming profiles, you can link your music profiles, so you can see why people who are gaming like this. If you're a YouTube partner, for example, and you have memberships turned on, you can connect your YouTube to Discord and have a private server just for your YouTube channel members. So I think it's interesting. People like to chat. They want a central place to chat that's not necessarily connected to any other specific platform. It'll be interesting to see how it does going forward, but it's extremely popular. And I'll note that last year, for Discord's 9th birthday, they did a bunch of giveaways featuring Wumpus. Wumpus is their cute mascot. So keep an eye open for 10th birthday things if you're active over on Discord. Andrew says, I love Discord. So Discord is kind of weird, right? It has a lot in common with IRC, Internet Relay Chat. It has a very old school feel to it, but then it has voice and video channels as well. Sometimes I get kind of lost there, but yeah, it's nice to have a place where you can have a private chat community and doesn't require people to be on YouTube or be on Instagram or be on any platform. It's great for creators who are on multiple platforms to have one central place to be linked. So those are the updates for this week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope to see you all again next week.